Hey, welcome to the DPP channel. Today we have a video featuring the new BT9 decks. We have Alphamon vs Magnamon today, and oh boy, it's gonna be exciting. The new Alphamon literally allows for another extra turn, while Magnamon X is stickier than before. Which of these two will actually take the W today? Without further ado, let's dive right into the game itself, as we do see two Vmons on the right side, and we do see a Ouruyken coming down the left side evolving, and then of course chucking one card from the hand. The champion will allow to give +1 KDP, and we do draw one thanks to Digitama. The Vmon will be pushed out of course, evolving to the Flame Dramon, doing armor things. And the 8k DP will swing at the security, and we do hit into a memory boost here, but we of course do draw one thanks to the Vmon. And we're gonna proceed to evolve to the Dramon here for 2 costs and just pass the turn. Now he does have the black memory boost on his side, and it's going to evolve to the level 6 potentially this turn. However, will he do so? He does evolve to Dramon first. It's going to use the Ouruyken to just swing at the Flame Dramon, and the Flame Dramon will use the armor perch to of course take off the armor. This is going to evolve to the Ouruyken, and of course Ouruyken will allow him to actually chuck one more card from his hand to the Digisource. Of course going to kill off the Vmon, I'm certain. He's going to put a level 5, which does give reboot, and he does reboot. And with that Evo line, he does have the reboot, the security attack +1, the draw 1, and of course the blocker. So it's a very strong single Digimon there he has built up. Gonna evolve to the Vmon here, and we are hoping to draw some sort of miracle here. Gonna go for the Davies, not the miracle I was hoping for, but it is still a tamer and a play. Gonna take out a Vmon, adding it to hand. He's actually gonna go evolve to the Ginryumon in the nursery for 2 costs, putting it at 0 memory here. The Ouruyken will actually be swinging at security with 2 security attack thanks to the Ouruyken. Does hit into 2 nothings, so that's very safe for him. And it's gonna go for the Yuji Musha Tamer. Now this Tamer is in BT8, but it has been so good, especially in BT9, because you can just put anything with X-Antibody into the Digisource. Gonna hardcore the Ankylomon here, and gonna do some sort of secret play as we do go for the Joker's Evolution into the Chimeramon, and the Chimeramon will allow us to put 1 Digisource from the discard pile, and we'll be taking the Flame Dramon. So the Chimeramon now has 5 colors. The white, yellow, blue, green, and red. Now it's going to minus 5 KDP on the Ouruyken, and of course 3 KDP again with the Ankylomon. So the Ouruyken is not able to block, but the 5 KDP is only until end of the opponent's turn. Going to evolve the Magnamon X-Antibody because we do have blue and yellow Digisource, making Chimeramon a blue Digimon. So it's going to evolve perfectly there. But I'm going to gain 1 next to Yuji Musha, and of course evolve into Alphamon Ouruyken. Now Alphamon Ouruyken, when evolve, you can actually blow up the highest cost. In this case, it will be the Magnamon X-Antibody who's gonna die, and of course go to the security thanks to his effect, and the Alphamon Ouruyken pro potential will actually be unleashed here as he does discard Digisources. It will allow him to gain memory for each Digisource he does discard to the bottom of the deck. That's gonna gain 3 memory thanks to the Alphamon, and it's gonna swing at the Chimeramon because Chimeramon is only 8 KDP. So the Alphamon will be able to swing over it very easily using the Yuji Musha to put one of the baby underneath the Alphamon, mainly to just fill up the sources so you can use the extra turn ability in the next turn. So I'm going to go for the Kota Tamer here, which is basically a Davies in the X-Antibody form. It's going to pick up the level 5, adding it to hand and passing the turn with 4 memory to us, but the Vmon only on the field is not going to do too much because it's facing one very strong Alphamon with a blocker in heavy ability. So I'm going to head to the Upamon first. We're going to evolve to the Vmon and drawing 1. I'm going to go for the Flame Dramon once again on top of the Vmon and hope to swing at the security. And will he block it? Looks like he chooses not to, and does hit into a Kota Tamer, so no harm done. But of course 1 security less for him. I'm going to pick up the Ouruyken from the top 4, adding it to hand. And I must say Ouruyken is a very strong rookie because you can actually gain 1 memory by attaching it underneath the sources. Because we're going to go for the Hammer Spark here and going hard calling a Vmon to look at top 4. And we do see 2 Paladimon and 2 Magnamon X. Now Paladimon is technically the only answer against the X-Antibodies because they have such a strong, I'll say, passive effect and so much Digisource, and only Paladimon can clear it very easily. We do evolve to the Magnamon to just pass the turn, and it's going to start off the turn with 3 memory, and of course hatching to a Ouruyken. Going to evolve to the Ouruyken, which he did pick up earlier. Going to swing the Alphamon at the Flame Dramon, and the Flame Dramon of course armor perch, and he does restand thanks to the Ouruyken in the Digisource. Gonna swing again at the Vmon, and gonna use the Yuji Musha to put the Ouruyken under the Digisource. And it's gonna draw 1 thanks to the Digitama, and the Vmon will of course die, not blocking the Magnamon. It's gonna evolve to the Ouruyken here for 3 costs, and of course attach 1 more Digisource. It's gonna put the Ouruyken underneath it. It's gonna draw 1 thanks again to the Digitama. gonna go for the Alphamon evolution here. And of course, the turn doesn't stop there, especially with the Alphamon Ouruyken there. Gonna discard 3 Digisources here, it's gonna gain 3 memory thanks to that. Man, this card is insane. That's gonna go for the black memory boost to further extend his turn, pushing to 2 memory. It's gonna use the Alphamon skill to actually gain attack. It's gonna gain 3 KTP here, so it can hit over the Magnamon. It's gonna hit into the Magnamon X and the Davies. And the Davies will of course use the ability. But the Alphamon does gain back 2 memory, so it's still his turn, and the Orumon does restand it. It's gonna further evolve the Alphamon into the Alphamon Ouruyken for 3 costs only because he does have Orumon and Digisource. And of course, he's gonna use the Digiburst to actually gain the memory and passing back to his turn once again. And the Alphamon Ouruyken will actually of course kill off the Magnamon there. Since there's no blocker, it's gonna swing at the security with 2 check thanks to the Dorogreymon and does hit into nothing there. Gonna play the Yuji Musha to just pass the turn, finally to the Vmon player, and we do of course have the level 5 to just reboot the Alphamon, and let's not forget that Alphamon still have blocker. Gonna use the Vmon to actually swing at security here and chooses not to block, does hit into a level 5 so it does die. Gonna evolve to the Magnamon here. The Magnamon will gain 10k DP thanks to the 5 armor Digimons in the trash. And gonna swing at the security, and we're gonna just evolve it further into the Magnamon X, which allows us to evolve for 4 costs on top of the Magnamon. And the power will be brought forward, so the Magnamon X is actually 21k DP, and we shall see whether the Alphamon Ouruyken can actually hit over it. Now, if you guys haven't already known, Magnamon X does have this ability that if you do have the X-Antibody option or the armor release Digimon in your Digisource, you can actually redirect all attacks to this Digimon. So it's basically a Mechanorimon with steroids. But of course, will he be able to clear it off in this turn? Given that he does have 2 Alphamon Ouryukens. He's gonna go for the Alphamon evolution here, and with the memory passed over to 1, he's gonna use the Alphamon Ouruyken ability to just detach 1 memory and of course gain back the memory. It's gonna go for the Alphamon Ouruyken once again. The Alphamon Ouruyken will pop the Magnamon X. The Magnamon X will go into the security, so essentially healing 1, and the Magnamon will be rested. And the Alphamon Ouruyken will once again use his ability to gain back the memory and does gain back to 1 here. Gonna swing with the Alphamon Ouruyken at the security, and using Yuji Musha to put the Orumon underneath it so it can restand this turn. And of course 1 check will be done here, and of course it's the Magnamon X, and it's gonna restand and of course swing for gain. Man, that was a very strong game 1 because he does have 3 Alphamon Ouruyken on the field. That's pretty insane. I'm gonna have Alphamon starting first in this game and gonna evolve to Dorumon, and of course playing Yuji Musha to just pass the turn. I'm gonna start off the turn with 3 memory here for the Vmon as he does evolve to the Vmon. And then going for the Vmon Hardcore. And looks like he's going to evolve to the Flame Drama in the nursery. Now with 2 memory, he does push up and does gain the memory thanks to Yuji Musha and drawing additional 1 card. Then going for the Dorogamon for 2 costs. He's actually going to swing at the security here using the Yuji Musha to slot in 1 card. He's going to slot in the champion here, which does give 1 KDP. He's going to draw 1 thanks to that Digitama, and of course gain 1 memory thanks to Dorumon. Does hit into the Enkylomon. It's going to pass the turn with the Dorumon Hardcore, which allows him to discard 1 card and drawing 2. So that's a very nice new card introduced in BT9 for the X-Antibody archetypes. Now the Flame will swing at the level 4 here, does gain 3 KDP upon swinging, and it's going to draw 1 thanks to the Vmon as well as the Upamon, so that's drawing 2. Gonna use the Vmon to swing at the security, it does have jamming, so does hit to Dorogreymon, but nothing's gonna matter. Gonna evolve to the Magnamon to just pass the turn. Now he does have 2 memory to work with, but he doesn't have any nursery Digimon, so he does have to restart the game by actually evolving to Dorumon in the nursery, and then of course to Ginrymon for 2 costs. And so he's gonna go for the black memory boost here to just pass the turn. Looking at top 4, does pick up the Dorogreymon, adding it to hand. I'm going to evolve to the Vmon, of course, in the nursery, setting up more Digimons. I'm going to swing the Flame Drama at the security, drawing 1 thanks to the Upamon. We do hit into level 5 there, which does have 8k DP, so it's going to trade with the Flame Dramon, but the Flame Dramon does have armor release. The Magnamon will swing the security, of course, but he is to an Alphamon Ouruyken, so the armor release will happen as well, so there's 2 armor Digimons down already, but the Vmon will continue to stand. Now we do evolve the right Dramon to actually rest the Dorumon, but nothing is going to happen too much. Gonna go for the Awakening of the Digizoid, basically evolving to the Magnamon X, and I must say this card is actually pretty decent. Now it's gonna push out the level 4 here, does gain 1 memory thanks to the Yuji Musha and drawing 1 additional card. Gonna go for the Dorogreymon, which he picked up earlier through the black memory boost. It's gonna attach 1 Digisource in the form of Alphamon, which is a very interesting choice. Gonna draw 1 thanks to Digitama. Gonna go for the Orumon here, which allows him to actually blow up the Vmon on the field. Now of course gonna put 1 more Digisource in the form of Dorogreymon. So the next turn, this Orumon will actually be swinging for 3 security attack, which is pretty strong. Now the Vmon will be pushed out here. And to answer that Ourymon, we of course go for the Paladin mode here, which we do play in the deck, and of course discarding that dual color card. But the dual color card should have been placed onto the bottom of the deck instead of the drop zone, so there's a slight misplay there. And he does have 0 Digimons on the field, so that's a very strong Paladin mode, I would say. It's going to evolve to the Dorumon, and it's going to restart building in the nursery once again. It's going to evolve to the Dorugamon. Gonna go for the Black Memory boost here to push into 3 memory and then evolving to the Hisariumon in the nursery for 3 costs. It's actually gonna go for the Kota Tamer here for 4 costs here to look at top 4. And we shall see what we're gonna pick up. It does pick up the Dorugreymon, adding it to hand. We do have 4 memory to work with, but he does have 2 security left against the Paladinmon and the Vmon. The Paladinmon will swing at a security here. Does hit into nothing, so we are safe. Gonna go for a play here as we do evolve to the Rydramon, and we do hope that it does die in the security, because when it does die, the armor purge will happen, and of course we do have the hammer spell to follow up with, and we evolve to the Magnamon. Magnamon, when evolved, will actually unsuspend the Digimon, which allows for another swing, and this will be game. Now we'll be moving on to game 3 here with the Vmon going first, hatching to the Alphamon, and of course evolving to the Vmon. Gonna hard play a Vmon to look at top 3 for a free archetype, and gonna pick up the Magnamon, adding it to hand. Gonna hatch to the Dorumon here, and gonna go for the Black Memory boost, so he does miss the rookie, but hopefully in the top 4 he can find a rookie. We do see a rookie there, so gonna of course pick it up immediately, and of course gonna go for the evolution in nursery. Gonna go for the Yuji Musha Tamer here to just pass the turn. Now a turn 1 Yuji Musha is very solid because it does enable you to actually gain memory when you do push out, of course drawing 1, and of course actually attaching 1 new Digisource. Gonna evolve to the Magnamon here to unsuspend the Vmon. I'm gonna swing at the security once again. For second check, we do hit the Alphamon though, so the Alphamon is gonna kill off the Magnamon, but we do have armor purge, so that's gonna be fine. I'm actually gonna go for a hardcore Vmon once again, looking at top 3 for a free archetype. I'm gonna pick up another Vmon for the next turn. It's gonna push up the nursery Digimon. It's gonna draw 1, gain 1 memory thanks to the Yuji Musha. It's gonna go for the Ginryumon for 2 costs. It's gonna start exploding here as he does go for the Black Memory boost, pushing into 4 memory. Now of course this will allow him to evolve to the Dorugreymon, putting into 1 memory now. It's gonna put 1 more Digisource, and gonna put a champion which allows him to gain +1 KDP, drawing 1 thanks to Digitama. And it's gonna swing at the Vmon, so it's gonna clear off all the rookie rush, I would say. It's going to use the Yuji Musha to actually slot in 1 card in the form of Dorumon, which allows him to gain 1 memory. Will he actually go to a level 6? No, he actually goes for the Black Memory boost here, choking me at 1 memory. Now I would say this play is actually quite dangerous because if I do have the specific cards in the form of Hammer Spark and the Flame Dramon, we actually can kill that Dorugreymon, which is pretty stacked, and that will lose him a lot of tempo. Gonna evolve to the Vmon here, of course in the nursery. Looks like we don't draw our pieces. Gonna swing the Vmon, and the nursery does into Dorumon, which allows our Vmon to actually survive. But the second Vmon not so lucky. Gonna play the Iceor here, the most balanced card in the game. Gonna evolve the Vmon into an Ankylomon just to pass the turn, mainly to cycle of course. And he does have only 1 security left against our 5 security, so I would say we are in a very healthy spot. But he does have a very stacked up level 5, and he's going to go for the Black Memory boost, and this is where the turn will actually change, as he does go for the Alphamon evolution, and then going for the Ryudamon evolution in the nursery. He's going to swing at the Ankylomon, does lose 2 memory thanks to the Iceor, but he does go for the Yuji Musha to put the Orumon, allowing Alphamon to restand basically at the end of the attack. That's gain 1 memory and drawing 1 thanks to the Digitama and the Dorumon. The Orumon, of course, standing, and the Alphamon will gain back 2 memory, so the Iceor will be proven almost useless, as he does go for the Yuji Musha to actually memory choke me and 1 again. Gonna go for the Vmon hardcore to look at top 4, and at this point, I would say this game is going to be very tough because he does have the Alphamon and the Orumon in play, while I only have 2 Vmons in play. So it's going to push out the nursery Digimon and going to gain 2 memory thanks to 2 Yuji Mushas and drawing 2 additional cards. The Alphamon will swing the security. It's going to gain +1 KDP thanks to the level 4 champion. It's going to use the Yuji Musha of course to slot in 1 more card. It's going to slot in a Dorumon. Now this stack does have 2 Dorumons, so it's going to gain 2 memory and drawing 1 card thanks to that 1 slot in of Digisource, so that's very broken. It's going to hit into the Rydramon and of course the Hammer Spark, which does lose him 2 memory, but the Alphamon will gain it back, and the Orumon will allow you to restand. It's going to go for the Alphamon Ouruyken for just 3 costs here to blow up that Vmon. Such a sad child. So he does recognize that he does have only 1 security left, so he's going to play a lot defensive as he does go for the Dorugamon, and Dorugamon is a blocker. He's going to swing the Alphamon with 2 security checks. He's going to hit into a Davis first, which allows us to look at top 3. We're going to pick up a Vmon, adding it to hand. We're going to use the Yuji Musha here to actually slot in 1 Digisource 1 more time. We're gonna slot in the level 5 reboot, which allows the Alphamon to restand and does have blocker. Now at the start of the turn, I did mention that we do have the advantage given that he does have only 1 security against our 5 security, but look at the amazing turn swing here as we do have only 1 security left. He's gonna use the Alphamon Ouruyken to actually gain a bunch of memory here. He's gonna discard some Digisource. So he's gonna discard up to 7 here, which allows you to gain back to 5 memory. Man, oof. Gonna evolve to Dorugamon. It's gonna be another blocker, and he's gonna hardcore Dorumon to look at top 3. But at this point of time, he does have 3 blockers against that 1 small Vmon in our nursery. So this game is about to be over. It's gonna evolve to the Ginryumon just to pass the turn, and I wouldn't say there's much hope for the Vmon player left, but we shall see. Maybe there's a miracle. It's gonna push out the Vmon, of course. Gonna evolve to the Flame Dramon for 2 costs. And go for the yellow option here to allow us to evolve to the Magnamon X, and Magnamon X is our only hope, I would say, because it does have the Mechanorimon-like ability as we can redirect all the attacks into the Magnamon X instead, and of course it does have to survive. So it can actually block off all the champions there except the Alphamon Ouruyken. Gonna evolve to Dorumon in the nursery first, but the Alphamon Ouruyken will actually swing at the security. It's gonna slot the Dorumon basically just for fun because it can just fill the sources for the end of turn effect. We're gonna hit to the Magnamon X. It's gonna follow up with a Dorugreymon evolution. It's gonna of course draw 1 and of course slot in 1 Digisource underneath it, and thanks to the Dorumon it's gonna get our memory, so it's not yet past the turn. It's gonna play the Quota Tamer here for 4 costs and can look at top 4 for 1 X-Antibody, adding it to hand. It's gonna add the Orumon, adding it to hand, and on the field alone we do have 4 blockers. So the Magnamon X is not gonna push through the security at all, and the Alphamon Ouruyken will actually just give me just nice 3 memory. And let's not forget that all of his Digimon does have Digisource, so a party mode won't be able to clean this field up. Gonna evolve to the Vmon in nursery, of course. Gonna swing the Magnamon X at the security, it does not block it, and gonna hit into Orumon, which does kill off the Magnamon X. So essentially healed 1, but will it be enough as we do go for the awakening of the Digisoid again, and evolving the Flame Dramon into a level 6 in the form of Magnamon X. And drawing 1. But however, will this be enough? And we of course go for the Paladin mode to, die in honor in a sense. I'm gonna use the ability to actually kill off the Alphamon Ouruyken because Alphamon Ouruyken has gained so much memory advantage that is insane. So I'm gonna push out the Dorumon and will allow him to gain to 9 memory there, which is so much memory. And this will be game over as he does swing the Dorumon at the security, which is a Magnamon X. And of course, gonna use the Dorugreymon to go for a game. Now this is the Alphamon deck list if you guys are interested in. And this will be the Magnamon X deck if you guys are interested as well. Now thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.